God can't tell me nothing. Right this on my death certificate. I gave you power, 21 questions like you're warning. Watch them flashing like paparazzi. Two words. Get money. Tonight's the night. Guess who's back on my block? Rather unique. Bucktown. This on that quiet storm. T-O-N-Y. Top of New York with a pitchfork.
Look, I defeated my fears, soaked the towel in my tears. So ahead of my time, what comes next are all my oldest ideas. I'm wiser than my chin check y'all in y'all beard. I'm willing to father my peers.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Indianapolis Colts. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, from the heartland of America, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Lucas Oil Stadium here in Indianapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Kansas City Chiefs to this one, knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, they come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the Stanford man. It's Andrew Luck.
And while he won't admit it because his team lost the game, he had some fun in the last one.
He threw for over 400 yards.
I mean, there's no getting around it. As a QB, yeah, okay. We lost the game, but, boy, that felt good flinging it around. Now he's got to figure out how to do the exact same thing, yet turn it into a win.
Easy, alert.
They go play action here on first down. They'll get this to his tight end. It's Johnny Smith. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Now a first down throw. Luck. Incomplete. This is Albert Wilson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he...
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Third and long. It's Locke. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Leonard Williams able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. The partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
Snap coming at 1, and it's Mahomes. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Jabal Sheard in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. Wide open receiver complete. 30, the 20, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 96 yards, and the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. So from back deep in their home territory, all the way into the end zone, you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also showed that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance, because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call right there.
It was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Butker now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Now Luck. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. He's going deep. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there for Indy. 46 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Mack. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover.
And he takes it in for a Colts score. A great play there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Glover Quinn. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
Glover Quinn came into the NFL as a cornerback, but he's morphed into one of the better safeties in the league, and he just finished this one off with that nice pick.
After the interception, it's locked. It's complete to Golden Tate. Fighting through, and he's got space. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Golden Tate with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Colts are in for 6. Now the extra point try forthcoming.
Everybody likes to see the long ball thrown, but when you throw it underneath and you see someone catch the ball, secure it, make their moves, and then turn it into bigger plays, that's a lot of fun to watch as well.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And now look at him go. Past the 20. Kansas City touchdown.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking on some responsibility, but he was happy to do so there.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Time for a look at the defensive starters for Kansas City. They come into this one ranked number 17, so just starting the bottom half of the league against the pass.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
From the gun on third down, Luck throwing the out route incomplete. It's Rose. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. 1 play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 32.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Spencer Ware's numbers on the ground a week ago. 19 carries, 60 yards.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
And that is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. He gets it complete to Harris. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Starting the drive with a give to Mack. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
40, easy, alert, alert. Go. Ride 16.
A first carry now for Alex Collins. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Taking it about the 16. Oh, what a move. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now here comes Kansas City. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Mahomes going to throw. Looking deep downfield. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. Third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On third and long, it's Mahomes. He's going to fire one deep. Middle. It's the 2014 NFL interception leader, Glover Quinn. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. So that right there was his second pick, but keep in mind, this is a guy who once had a rare 3-interception game in his career.
So what are you saying, that getting 2 in a game, that's like kid stuff for him? That's nothing. He's already
Amateur
done that,
hour.
right? Been there, done that. You know he wants a third again.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cut.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
He's going to let it go. And with it, time has expired on the first quarter. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Now here's Mahomes. He's going to wind up and air it out. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
That one good for 10 yards, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 3rd down, that's Mack, and he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on third down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Now Mack, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. Gets by him, and now a little daylight. The 30. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. A huge play that time for the Colts. 54 yards.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch. And it came on a crossing route. I could just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback always said the same thing. What route does a defense hate? Crossing route. Hate it, hate it, hate it, because it's hard to change direction when they get going full speed in the other way.
On second down, Collins. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Colts on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, here's Love. And that is incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And now the Colts call on their field goal unit here. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will tie things at 17 all. So they've put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And now here comes Kansas City. Now, we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket.
Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And I believe the Colts have recovered. Yes, they have. Some guys just have a knack for creating turnovers. He's got a little bit of that going. He forced a fumble last week, another one there.
And it just drives teams crazy because they realize that certain guys, as you said, have that knack, and they're trying to keep them away from the action, away from the ball. But the best ones have that overwhelming desire, that overwhelming need to get to the football and make it happen, and that he does.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. John Brown, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts have broken our tie as they take the lead. Extra point right down the middle, and they will take a 7-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out comes Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense. And I guess right now... And now here comes Kansas City. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over. The other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field.
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 76 yards. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And, Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match at a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Chris Jones on the stop.
Well, after what we just saw, we know that with third down coming up, this is not a gimme for the offense. They've got to figure out what they want to do. Do they challenge their offensive line and try and run it? Or do they go ahead and concede that this is a tough defense and put it in the air?
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Chiefs offense and Tyreek Hill heading back out onto the field. He has certainly made the most of his catches so far, both of them going for touchdowns here in half number 1.
And we've never met a team that doesn't talk about getting off to a fast start and featuring guys that they want to have the ball early. We're seeing both of those come out of a start, got their feature guy going, and now everyone else should have opportunities.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for us.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there for KC. 45 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Looking to throw is Mahomes. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Mahomes throwing on 4th. He's going to go deep for Conley. And this is taken in at the 5. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
We know it's tough enough to pick up first downs on 3rd down plays, but when you go for it on 4th down, sometimes you're actually just praying, and on that play, the prayer was answered.
Now Jones. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
He's going to get it running right. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Spencer Ware, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs have broken our tie as they take the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down is Locke. And the Chiefs are going to get him.
That's how we do it, baby.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
On 3rd down, this is Collins. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And take it right on the 30. Look at the spin.
Balance.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Andrew Luck and company heading back onto the field. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
to make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now. On first down, Love. He's got Smith here. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. On second down, here's Love. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Now the Colts will use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. Luck on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Wilson. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs. So we've reached halftime in a while. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. This is fielded at the goal line. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And it was somewhat of a strange first half. He threw 3 interceptions, yet you look at the scoreboard, they've got the lead.
So you know what I think he did at the half? He stood up in front of the team, especially in front of the defense, and said, thank you. Appreciate what you've done. You guys have picked me up in a big way. And guess what? I'm going to get back to being who I am, which is pretty darn good. Let's go play the second half.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
He's going to float this one deep right side. It's caught at the 10. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. Mahomes finding Hill for a big play. 62 yards.
Black 58 rail! Black 58 rail! Here we go! Green 90! Green 90!
Oh, how about this on first and goal? And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Now from the 9, here's second and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. The Chiefs on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're looking at a third and goal here. The first carry for Josh Adams, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, but they do keep him out of the end zone, and now it's fourth down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And Butker able to put this one through, and that'll push the lead up to 17. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. It's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, Getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues.
False start, offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Staying on the ground with Matt. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Twisting away. Very good return that time. 18 yards. Out comes Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense. On one hand, as we look at some of his struggles. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. On play action, it's Mahomes. He's going to fire one deep over, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 36 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Ware takes the give from Mahomes. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They run again with Ware. And a short gain here, down to the 22. The tackle made by the corner, Jimmy Smith.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
They'll run now with Ware. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. A solid run on first down, gained it. Him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll run it now. This is Charkandrick West. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit. Even though I'm not rooting for either team, That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And the kick by Butker is good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. Hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
5 yards on the catch there brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing is Love. He's got the hook up to John Brown on the right side. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I think we've seen this before. If someone's down 3 scores, that situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They'll run it now out of the gun. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 to be exact.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Wilson. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, of that marker. And now here comes Kansas City. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Jabal Sheard able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. He's going to fire one deep. He's got a man complete. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Butker now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Andrew Luck now, he gears up to lead this offense again. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Off of play action, Luck. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about
A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. On 1st and 10, Luck. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Luck now to throw. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Defensively, it was Tremont Smith with the tackle.
Okay, you got 4. You got 4. Let's go, fellas. You got 4 down. Let's go.
Alert, alert!
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
Wide, 622.
Here's Luck now on 2nd down. Over the middle to Smith. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's Luck. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
4 down, check, 4 down. Slow. Here we go. Green 39.
Mahomes now to throw. He's going to air one out. And got his man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain of 39 that time. They go play action here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Anthony Walker in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon. Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. They shakes it off. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The former All-Pro Marcel Darius in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That sack's on back-to-back plays. Now Mahomes
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Mahomes going to go on 4th down. And the pressure gets to him again. Andy Reid went for it, but it won't pan out. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification. And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that cat?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. Now we've got whistles and a flag. Looked like one of the Colts linemen might have jumped.
False start, offense.
The guilty party chants Warmack, the guard out of Alabama. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. A shotgun snap for Lott. And that's going to be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Here's Mack, and he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves him with 14 yards still to go on 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And his kick is good. And that will cut the lead down to 3 scores at 24. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the...
Under pressure, they got him again. Jabal Sheard. Who else? He's in there for his 4th. Sack of the afternoon. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
4 down, 4 down. Here we go now. Green, 90. Green, 90.
To throw, it's Mahomes. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Here's Mahomes to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Glover Quinn. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. After the interception, it's Love. And to the left side here, Wilson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time? Hopefully with a chance to win.
Smith catches left side. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonnu Smith, his first touchdown on the year. And thanks to the interception, the Colts offense cashes in with 6. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. On 2nd down, Adams. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. Oh, and now he bowls him over. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Mahomes going to throw it here. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Green 90. Green 90.
Throwing now is Mahomes. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And another timeout taken by the Colts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field.
Blue 45. Z. Hunt.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. This is caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Interesting. Mahomes wants to throw it. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. The Chiefs on 3rd down. A very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Malik Jackson in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. And Butker able to put this one through. And that will make this now a 19-point advantage. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. On first down, Luck got his man complete over the middle. It's Smith. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there, as they'll get 20 and a first down. And he'll indeed get him to the line and spike it here to stop the clock. On second down, here's Luck. And his throw here's incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 9 difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Throwing on third down, Luck. And that will be incomplete as well.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Desperation time for Luck on fourth down. And able to find John Brown. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. John Brown, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point splits the uprights, so time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And the Chiefs have got it. And with that, they should have a victory as well. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout. And now we're set to get going. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Here we go. Blue 40.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company.
Here we go. Blue 45.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. And he's gonna go down again. Marcel Darius in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong.
I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds, yeah. Feel like in the real life, dripping on sauce in a good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall. Chillin' like a boss with my feet up. Got a bag for him with a visa. Pulling up the no the leader. Getting that while I'm on the. She's a keeper. No burritos. Get to the pesos with amigos.